Right. So this one's developing a little bit today or yesterday. So we talked about this obesity thing, right? And Cancer Research UK's campaign to compare obesity with smoking. Now, we could be here for an hour listing the stupidity that's coming out. First point, a lot of the things that are being said negatively about raising awareness of the health impacts of being obese are being said by people that have never been fat. Clearly not, because they've never experienced what it's like to be overweight. So the problem that we have with this, the first bit of stupidity is this. They're comparing it to smoking. No, they're not. What they're doing is they're saying that obesity kills or can cause cancer like smoking does. Okay, because it's a nice comparison to make. Okay, it's a comparison that people can relate to. That's the first thing. That's the first bit of stupidity. The second bit of stupidity is this concept of stigmatizing obesity. Nobody's discriminating against obese people. People are stating facts. Discrimination is what was going on in 1950s America, for example, where you can't get on this bus or you can't sit on this bus because you're that. Yeah, nobody's telling fat people they can't sit on a bus. They might tell somebody you're too big to sit in this seat, but what's the solution to that? Remember the episode of The Simpsons where Homer says, "Can I just sit in the aisle?" No, that's not a solution to the problem. And what's happening here is, I saw something can we be blunt about obesity? It's irrelevant. All of this is irrelevant and it's nonsense, and people need to keep quiet, because what you're doing is you're creating victims. You are not going to help people by giving them sympathy. You're going to help people by giving them empathy, understanding them and empowering them to make the changes they need to make. Okay? Sympathy, and I've seen fit pros doing this as well, trying to sort of almost get the back door to business, going, "Oh, it's all right, I feel sorry for you, yeah, you poor thing." That's not going to help people. That's desperate, and that tells me a lot about your coaching. Your job is to empower people and say, "Look, I understand that this is a problem for you. I understand that you're having a challenge. Let's help you to fix this problem with solutions." Because here's the point: one person chooses to stuff their face and not exercise. Second person is obese, but eats a bit better, but just maybe doesn't exercise as much, maybe eats a bit too much. You can't turn around and say, well, every single obese person is being discriminated against, because some people are deliberately making the choices to be that way. And here's one of the other stupid arguments by some pseudo intelligent person, again, that's clearly never been fat. Oh, but the BMI scale says this. So you could be obese on the BMI scale, but not actually obese. What the fuck has that got to do with it? What has that got to do with anything? We're not talking about a scale. We're not talking about a measure. We're talking about people's health. And what some people are doing online today is condoning poor health choices. People that have never been fat, it's environmental factors. No, it's not. So if it is environmental factors, why isn't everybody fat? Why are people like me able to lose weight and keep it off? Because we made different choices. We had the power and the resources to make different choices. It's as simple as that. And you've got to stop this, because you're creating victims, and that isn't going to fix the problem. So unless you've been overweight, you've been obese, you've experienced what it's like, stop telling people it's okay because you think that's what they want to hear. That isn't going to help people. And final point, like I said yesterday, and I'll say to the day that I die, you are a shit coach if you cannot separate the person from their behaviours. Oh, but we're calling people lazy. If you're calling people lazy, then you're a bad person. If you're saying to somebody, you know what, based on this set of numbers, you're overweight, that's stating a fact. And if you muddy those two things together when they're not supposed to be, you have a problem, and that's your issue. So sort your own stuff out. Yeah? Don't create victims. We need solutions. We don't need sympathy. Simple as that. Have a good day.